There's been a really popular idea circulating in the whole Pokemon investing space, and it's that when Prismatic Evolutions comes out, Surging Sparks is going to be forgotten about. Nobody's going to care about Surging Sparks anymore. Prices are going to crash. No one's going to buy Surging Sparks booster boxes. All the cards, Pikachu SAR, Milotic, Latias, Pikachu Gold card, all these cards are going to crash. They're going to be totally forgotten about because everyone's just going to focus on Prismatic Evolutions. I want to talk about this because so many people are preaching this idea online, and it just shows something about the intelligence of people in the space. Because a lot of people follow these people, a lot of people listen to these people. These are the same people that are, the people that are saying that this is good, Surging Sparks is going to crash when Prismatic Evolutions come out because no one's going to care about it. These are the same people that said this was going to crash to $100 at release. Because remember, when this was, pre-ordering, it peaked at $160. And when it released, what happened? It went to $150. It went down $10. Everyone said this was going to crash to $100 because it was too much hype. It was all FOMO. It wasn't real. But what happened? It didn't crash because people over exaggerate everything in this space. People like to say all these crazy things are going to happen. It like, they usually don't, because the whole idea made no sense that it was going to go from 160 to 100. It didn't make any sense. And it's the same thing here. It's the same people. And when you really think about this ideology that this is going to happen, let's think about it this way. Surging Sparks on pre-order. This was the most hyped up set on pre-order in Scarlet and Violet by far. Even 151. If you were here for the 151 release, the prices were not crazy. It was nowhere near Surging Sparks level. This was the first set. Main set, special set, doesn't matter. This was the first set in Scarlet and Violet that got, this expensive on pre-orders. It was the first one. So you could have made the same argument with Surging Sparks, that when Surging Sparks got released, that everyone was going to forget the past sets. No one's going to care about 151 anymore. No one's going to care about Paldea Evolve. No one's going to care about Temporal Forces. You could have said the same thing. But it didn't happen. And this was the most hyped up set by far in Scarlet and Violet until, now with Prismatic Evolutions. So you could have said the same thing and it didn't happen. And it's going to be the same thing. People saying that this is going to crash because just one set comes out, those people don't make any sense. Because this whole ideology that the most hyped up set we've seen so far that's been released is going to just crash all of a sudden because one set's released, that everyone's just going to focus on one set. Like, just think about it that way. These people don't make, like, they're crazy. And especially when you see the consistency with Surging Sparks booster boxes, every single day basically selling 100 booster boxes just on TCG Player, saying that just when one set comes out, no one's going to buy these anymore. Like, what? Like, people are really saying these things. And when you also see the prices of the cards in Surging Sparks, saying that these are going to crash, no one's going to care about these cards. Like, do you see the value in this set? And people are really saying that, like, the best main set in Scarlet and Violet is going to all of a sudden crash. No one's going to care about all these cards that are valuable. Like, really? Is this what people are saying? It's like, this is a super popular idea. And when you really look at everything going on with Surging Sparks and you see what people are saying, like, you really get an idea of the people in the space. A lot of people just are not that intelligent. And especially when you look at prices of Prismatic Evolutions. Yes, this set is hyped up. Yes, it has good cards. But you gotta remember, already, these Elite Trainer boxes already doubled in price. Already doubled. Surging Sparks hasn't even doubled in price. MSRP is 161. If they had doubled, it'd be $320. This has already doubled. Now, obviously, the entry price is different. $200 booster box versus $100. It's different in that way. Like, people are willing to spend maybe $100 versus $200. But you guys, this has already doubled in price. How many people are really going to be willing to pay double retail at release? If they are not able to find it in stores for retail and they have to go online to pay $100, how many people are going to do that to open up this set? There's going to be some people, but let's say at release, let's say this keeps going up, right? Because everyone's saying this is going to $200. Let's say this Elite Trainer box goes to $200. How many people are going to be willing to pay $200 for an Elite Trainer box if that happens? How many people are really going to do that to open the set up? Probably not that many, because this set is already, the boot to open this is already expensive. To pre-order is already expensive. It's like, it gets to the point where it's like, when these prices, especially when they're new sets, go so high, people will start to pull back. I'm telling you, that's why this whole idea of these normal trainer boxes going to $200 at release or shortly after release just is crazy because people are going to stop paying and buying at certain points. We can see that with Surging Sparks. Like it's hit a wall now at 210, 215 because it gets to a point where a lot of people are selling and it gets to a point where also a lot of people, even with Surging Sparks, a lot of people are buying, but especially with Prismatic Evolutions, like it's already double. Like some people are already, not buying. Like there are people still pre-ordering things. These elite trainer boxes saying they're gonna go 200, but there's also a lot of people that have pre-ordered at retail and aren't buying at these prices because some people do know that $100 is already pretty expensive for an elite trainer box. So this whole idea that people are just gonna forget about Surging Sparks because Prismatic Evolutions gets released is just an idea that doesn't make any sense. Because Prismatic is already expensive, Surging Sparks is expensive. You think that when Prismatic Evolutions it goes up maybe 150 in Elite Trainer Box, people are going to continue to buy? Like the whole ideology and everything about this whole thing that people are saying, when you really think about it, the intelligence of these people really shows. Because it's going to be the same thing. I'm telling you. I made a completely separate video talking about this where people that are saying that this is going to go to $200 in the moon, like it's going to hit a point with Prismatic Evolutions. A lot of people are going to sell. A lot of people are flipping this product. There's going to be a lot of supply dumped, and that's what some people don't understand. Yes, people are opening these up, but I understand that. But a lot of people, this is like the opportunity people saw to flip these, even more than Surging Sparks booster boxes. So a lot of supply is going to be dumped in the market. This thing, I truly don't believe it's going to just skyrocket to $200 all of a sudden. Like all these ideas that people have with Prismatic, it's because a lot of people pre-ordered at $100. And that's why they're pushing this whole idea that this is going to quadruple. It could, but the probability of that happening is pretty unlikely considering that means it would have to quadruple retail price. So this whole thing with Prismatic, it really shows a lot of people in this community with Prismatic Evolutions and people's ideologies with everything that's going to happen with this set. It's going to be interesting, I'm telling you. And another thing that you got to think about with Prismatic Evolutions that I talked about, in a past video too, is pull rates. We don't know the pull rates of this set. Obviously Master Balls are probably going to be hard to pull and they're going to be probably worth some money, yeah. But we don't know the pull rates for these SARs. We don't know how hard these are going to be to pull. It's possible maybe these aren't super hard to pull. If they're super hard to pull, then I could say that maybe, Prismatic Evolutions will, grow a decent amount. But let's say these pull rates aren't terrible and they're not that hard to, pull. Let's say that maybe it's similar to Crown Zenith. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm speculating. If these pull rates are not as bad as, some other sets where the SARs are hard to pull, I don't think these Elite Trainer boxes are going to go to $200. Because there's a lot of demand for this set, but there's also then going to be a lot of supply of these cards because if they're easier to pull, there's going to be more supply. But if they're harder to pull, less supply, and there's already a lot of demand, then yes, I could see this thing going up a lot. But if there's just so many factors with Prismatic Evolutions, I've made so many videos talking about this set now because when you really look at all the people pumping up this set and saying all these things are going to happen with this set, not knowing anything, we have no data, the set's not even released yet. It's honestly just entertainment at this point. And it is going to be interesting to see what happens. And like I said, all you guys out there pre-ordering at $100, I wish you luck. Because when you're paying already double, there is some risk to that. Believe it or not everything is just unicorns and rainbows. When things happen with this set, like reprints, which, I think people are tired of talking about reprints, but believe it or not, this is going to get reprinted like other specialty sets. It's like, I don't know what to even say anymore. Prismatic Evolutions, every time I bring this up, a lot of people dislike the video because there's a lot of people that pre-ordered at high prices, and when I say certain things, saying that, maybe this is not going to skyrocket to $200, people get upset, and I understand it. And that's why when I talk about these things, I try to be more neutral, but it's really hard to be when just the things people say with Prismatic and what's going to happen with other sets, and just in general, it's so surprising. It really is. And I feel like what I'm saying is really not that unreasonable to say that, I don't think Surging Sparks is going to absolutely crash just because one set gets released. It's, the people in the space, especially now, I've just noticed like an influx of comments, on these videos, just what people say. It's a lot of new people saying these things. And I hope you guys understand that. But for you new people out there, maybe you don't understand and you're going to follow all these people, just buying at $100, it's going to go to $200, it's going to be the best set ever, everything's going to crash because this is the best set. Like at this point, I don't even know anymore. This whole situation is entertaining to me, and like I said, I can't wait till the set gets released, and we might look back and I'm totally wrong. But other than that, just looking at people's behaviors with prismatic evolutions is shocking, to say the least. So that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Surging Sparks, I don't believe is going to crash just because once set gets released, that idea doesn't make any sense to me. And all these people preaching it, hopefully you're right. Hopefully this goes up to the moon because you probably pre-ordered at maybe $80, $100. Hopefully this goes to $200 and you make a lot of money. But other than that, to say a set that is going to get released is going to make other sets crash, I don't believe it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below what your beliefs are. Anytime I talk about prismatic evolutions, I get a lot of, angry comments. So just keep them coming. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.